When I look back on Apothecary Diaries, there's no doubt that the strongest piece of the show that's always got me wanting for more is Maomao. Filled with so much attitude as she deals with all sorts of mysteries. I can't help but be charmed each and every episode as I watch over this green little gremlin. Also, she's kinda cute, I guess, so plus points for that. But why is it that so many anime fans and I gravitate towards her as a character? Is it her face of utter disgust as she deals with a beautiful jinshi? Is it her infectiously explosive euphoria in the face of things she's obsessed with? Maybe it's her direct and effective handling of business when things get dire. Well, whatever it may be, there's certainly more than meets the eye when it comes to such high quality writing. So let's get this cat out of the bag. An otaku for the ages. I think by now it's a proven science that love is best born after seeing the smile of the other. In Maomao's case though, that smile comes in very violent ways, much to the amusement of us as viewers. Sure, there were a couple of things that caught my attention beforehand, but the first time I saw Maomao grow cat ears out of excitement, I was ready to take her home myself. May it be for herbs, medicine, or other ingredients. She's wholly devoted to the apothecary craft. In contrast, during most other times, we see her pretty much emotionless as she does whatever she's tasked with as a servant. Of course, she does also work as a poison tester. A very welcome circumstance for both her and for us to enjoy. So, she keeps her head down and gets through her day job without much hop in her step, only to open up excitedly when faced with the things she loves.
虫から生えた奇妙な草を持ったその男は
Sounds pretty familiar. Sounds exactly like many of us here who share in our love for anime. Getting up every day to slave away at work to put some food at the table. While we may bring some efficiency, even some passion maybe, it's all just part of a mundane path to get back home to the comfort of something much warmer. May it be anime, manga, video games, or others, our obsessive passions are what keep us going. And that warmth isn't just a simple break in the life, it's moments of utter freedom, where we can truly feel there's nothing else in the world that matters. Just like Maomao, our hearts race, our faces flush, and our mannerisms may even get too jittery. Though sadly, cat ears likely won't be growing anytime soon. That's right, Maomao is in fact just a simple apothecary otaku. But it doesn't end there. In prime anime fashion, she exhibits the best and the ideal traits of being an otaku. She has high levels of intelligence capable of deduction that would make any detective hand over their monocle. Just look at the case with the Shrine of Choosing. Essentially dragged along, Maomao keeps her mouth shut as she simply stays within herself, carefully analyzing the layout and choices that the Emperor is making. After the trial ends, she immediately reviews, trying to figure out exactly what the answer is. And out of only a brief mention by the caretaker about how Lawman could solve it, she immediately connects the dots towards a medical reason for the solution: colorblindness. That's right, besides showing outstanding IQ, Maomao also has a deep well of knowledge concerning her craft. From being able to make ice cream using only hints from word of mouth, to knowing how to test for a breech baby and the complications along with it, Maomao well and truly is just like us. For real, for real. But of course, along with all that, this otaku also presents a facade that is deep, immovable, and most importantly, mysterious.
Oi!
You know what else is mysterious though? How you still haven't smashed that subscribe button. But along with that, do remember to like, share, and comment if you want to see more awesome content like this one. Even a cold gaze can melt a heart.
何をするのですか?
So what is this mysterious facade? Is it referring to the silent type staring out of windows and saying long monologues of thought? Well, to get the bigger picture, let's take a look at another recent waifu who burst into the scene: Frieren. For 99% of the series, Frieren displayed pretty much zero extreme emotions, besides some heartwarming smiles here and there. But what about that 1%? In episode 1 of the series, we see just that, her breaking down crying as she sees Himmel being buried. Because Frieren is a member of a long-lived species, her often cold and stoic demeanor is quite logical. To further this point, even Seria shares a similar personality in having trouble showing her emotions. However, all this doesn't mean they don't feel emotion. Frieren was devastated by the passing of Himel, enough that it led to the very journey the anime centers on. Seria, while she doesn't admit it, never forgot about her apprentice Flama and still acts with her words in mind. As a character, Maomao isn't far behind these fantasy elves. While she may let out some euphoric joy here and there, she is often pretty cold in dealing with other affairs. One of those being Jinshi. Well, past being cold, she often displays disgust towards the very existence of the secret prince. With a beautiful, flawless face and tall physique, he encapsulates the perfect womanly form that she desperately shies away from. All good news for Jinshi though, as whether he knows it or not, he is quite the masochist. Pros of being pretty and in power, I suppose. You start valuing disgust way more than love. But while that's also got me going as a fan, her resting uncaring face is the icing that makes her character cake. And just as there's a logical reason for both Frieren and Seria to be the way they are, Maomao is no different. Growing up in the Pleasure District, there weren't as many hands on deck as there ought to be when raising a child. In her early youth, Maomao often found herself crying with no one able to give her the time of day. And so she simply learned to bottle things up, eventually turning into the cold cat we all know and love, facing everything with her calculating mind. And while that sounds all well and good, it does get her into some pretty messy situations. Situations that unfortunately lead to her getting hurt. Who can forget her confrontation with the guard as she was trying to stop a clever assassination attempt? To a degree, this is a fine example of her humanity, as there were likely less painful ways to go about this. But she persevered and went headfirst as things were moving fast. While she does value logic, she isn't against using herself as the means to reach the end goal. It would probably be better for everyone's heart though if she avoids too much trial and error in the future. Of course, despite all that, Maomao still manages to capture the hearts of people in and out of the screen. But why is that? I hear you asking. Oh, you're not? Well, I'm telling you anyway. Jinshi's degenerate tastes aside, Maomao is still a lovely girl overall. Despite having trouble going with her feelings, her intellect is enough to gain good favor with all sorts of people of both high and low power she comes across. With this, she's also still just a human at the end of the day, with a soft spot for those sick and pregnant in particular, likely due to her strained childhood past. We can see this from how she put herself at risk at the start of the series just to warn the concubines of what was endangering the young children. Also, she literally goes berserk mode when people's medical ignorance puts other lives at risk. An understandable crash out, I suppose.
あ、バカに折檻するだけだよ。
All this just adds her relatability, and with that, we begin to put ourselves in her shoes, enabling better immersion for the story ahead. We want her to keep spending time in the inner palace. We want her to eventually develop a deeper relationship with Jinshi, and along with that, open up her heart to the many other characters that have connected with her. Speaking of, while we haven't gone to the reciprocation many fans want from Maomao to Jinshi, Xiaolan is a character I think has almost flown under the radar as someone very special to her. Of course, Luomin is suspect number one for being the closest to Maomao's heart, and that's natural as he did raise her. But ever since she came into the inner palace, Xiaolan has proven to be a reliable friend by her side for all this time. And she admits as much during the incident with the broken ice. While she did initially stick around Xiaolan just for some gossip, the relationship they've shared has helped in Maomao's development of a conscience. This cat simply can't rest knowing she could do more for this Bow Eater, and so more she shall do, even if it does mean asking a favor from her unrivaled simp, Jinshi. While it may seem like a throwaway moment, it does build upon the reinforced bond Maomao and Xiaolan formed over the course of their bathhouse adventures. Also, it acts as a small snippet on how Maomao has developed after meeting so many who have gone close to her heart, such as the next case that we'll be taking a look at.
ここからは少し歩く。
Will curiosity kill the cat? By episode 16 of the second season, everything comes together for our favorite character. Shisu, whom she's gone closer to, is taken hostage, and like a final nail to her coffin, the secret to the medicine of resurrection is dangled right in front of her. Both the carrot she's lived her life by and the stick, born from her recent development, are now in front of her. Now it's only a matter of following along and leaving the palace. How will Jinshi and the gang find her? What exactly is the resurrection medicine that Surei had used? These are all questions for another day, and a case that I'm sure Maomao herself can't wait to deal with.
船を乗り換えること2回。川に入ってたんだな。
How did you like exploring our favorite green waifu? If this video got you reflecting deeper on any of Maomao's antics, do consider leaving a super thanks for this video. It would really mean the world to us. Anywho, make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below what you thought of today's video. Is there anything else about Maomao that we missed? Let us know. We always love to hear it. As always, thanks for watching. We'll be seeing you again next time.